Hey, what's going on, everyone? NoZoupForYou here with his son Benjamin. I've got Benjamin in my lap right now, and I'm a very, very exhausted NoZoupForYou. And we'll see how quiet Benjamin remains. I can't guarantee he's going to stay quiet, and I can't guarantee I'm not going to fall asleep while doing this recording. And I'm going to tell you why. We transitioned Benjamin from his smart bassinet that rocks him when he gets a little restless to the crib. And that's nerve-wracking in its own. And I'm sure you parents out there know this because you've had to deal with this. And, you know, watching your child, your baby, lie on their stomach can be nerve-wracking when you see it for the first time, which is what happened last night. I mean, you read about things and you worry, and hey, things go through your mind like, oh, is he going to crush his nose? Is he going to stop breathing because of that? So that was reason for me to stay up till midnight watching him just to make sure. And he slept great, though. I mean, he handled it like a champ for the first couple of hours. And then after 12 o'clock, all hell broke loose after midnight. And that's the point he decided to wake up. And at that point, he decided not to go back to bed. Isn't that right, Benjamin? You did not go back asleep until about 3 o'clock when I put him in his car seat, which managed to afford me an hour to sleep. But at this point right now, I'm working off about 2 hours of sleep last night. So, you parents out there, you've been there. You've done that. You understand how it is. Savannah, on the other hand, she slept great. She sleeps like a champ. Benjamin takes after me, though. He stays up all night, and he's a pain in the ass. So, that's where I'm at right now. That's how I'm feeling, but that's not the topic of this video. But first, before we get to the topic of this video, I need to tell you what's playing in the background. Yes, you're watching some Worcester gameplay, and I love a good round in Worcester. I love a good round in any cruiser for that matter. And Merrick 4, who provided this wonderful, wonderful round, I just have to show it, because it just shows how good the Worcester still is and how much devastation and havoc you can absolutely wreak in it. I'm not going to show the whole thing because this round went a full 20 minutes, and this video is definitely not 20 minutes long. And I mean, I'm not going to say you'd get bored of watching someone absolutely wreak havoc in a Worcester for 20 full minutes. It's a work of art what Mr. Merrick did. It's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. 294,000 damage, just shy, 5,700 hit points shy of that magical 300,000 number. 647 target hits. Good lord, he was just raining shells on the enemy. Only shot down 3 aircraft despite there being a Saipan in the game. But I guess the Saipan was smart and knew not to go anywhere near him. I mean, any good CV player is going to avoid a devastating AA platform. Sank 4 ships, just one shy of that little Kraken. Started 16 fires, so, you know, that's a lot of fire right there, but not as much as I would have expected for 294,000 damage. So that goes to show that a lot of his damage was from straight up shell damage, which is quite awesome. In this round, he got the good old high caliber, the Confederate, and of course Witherer. I mean, with 16 fires, you would expect he would have had to have gotten a Witherer. I mean, just a crazy game overall, and really the other team should have won, but I think a lot of the reason they didn't win is this crazy Worcester was just driving around all over the place, rapid firing shells and raining down pain and devastation on everyone else. And watch his gameplay too, because he's very smart in what he did. And granted, he had some great division teammates that laid smoke for him and provided some good concealment for him to get his shots off. But towards the end, he didn't have that. So he was doing a lot of open water fighting most of the time. And if you watch him, you can see why he accumulated so many hit points without being damaged a lot. And a lot of the reason for that is he was just smart when he'd fire. And one thing for you newer players out there to realize is that if you're in a cruiser, you know, don't always just fire at a battleship because it's near and you have a clear shot. You need to watch the guns on that battleship. If the guns are aimed at you, you're probably not going to want to break concealment if you are concealed, or, you know, your visibility is concealed, you want to wait until the guns are aimed towards another ship, preferably on the other side of that battleship. That way, once you do break your concealment and you start firing, and you are visible to him, it's going to take him a good 20 or 30 seconds to get his guns around on you, by which time, hopefully, you've either broken concealment and visibility again, or you've gone behind terrain so he can't reach you. So, just something to keep in mind as you're playing. But, again, that's not the topic of today's video either. The topic of this video has to do with the fact that I heard USS Florida got nerfed. Yeah, I know, right? Horrible. Oh my god, Florida's been nerfed. It's gonna suck now. What a travesty. And I'm just saying that facetiously. I'm not being serious. And the reason I'm not being serious is I haven't even played the USS Florida. I haven't. I've read that it's been nerfed and it's horrible now from various sources, CC's included, who have gone off the rails on the situation and players and everything else. And I'm just sitting here like, you know what? I'm really not going to comment about that. There's a reason now why I'm not testing ships prior to their final iteration. There's a reason. And this is one of those reasons. We get these ships insanely early. And while we might not be able to show them actually being played, I mean, we can still show you the stats of the ship, and we can still play it in game, but I don't want to do that anymore because it forms an opinion on that version of the ship. And inevitably, when it gets nerfed, like it always does, I mean, every one of these ships gets nerfed eventually. That only puts a foul taste in my mouth as a player. And then I go on making videos saying, oh, this ship got nerfed. And then I rile you, the community, up because you saw a video in which I was saying, hey, this ship's awesome. You're going to love this ship. It's super powerful, only for it to get nerfed. Then you get pissed off. Case in point, the Pommern. Same exact thing happened to the Pommern. Everybody formed their opinions around one version of the Pommern, and then 1 second was taken off its reload time, and 0.1 was taken off its Sigma, and all of a sudden it was nerfed to hell. The ship's going to suck, and you know what? It didn't. And I'm glad I didn't play the first version of that ship, because it did not change my thoughts like it would have had I tested that ship. So I got a minty fresh Pommern, tested it for myself, said, hey, you know what? This ship's awesome. I love this ship. This ship's going to be a beast in ranked or anywhere else, and guess what? It was. And a lot of you have found that out as well. So that's why I'm not saying anything about the Florida. That's why I didn't play the Florida. And yes, I will say that, slightly being hypocritical, I did play the Vermont once, and I do find it to be somewhat slow and abysmal. But I feel safe to say that it's not a nerf issue there. It's not like they've nerfed that ship. So, kind of the reverse right there. It needs a buff. And when it gets buffed, that's going to be quite nice, if it does. But no, I'm specifically going on about premium ships that get nerfed during testing. And I can't think of any ships recently that haven't gone through the nerf. That's just part of the testing progress. So, I have a couple choices here. I can play these ships, I can form opinions on these ships, and I can tell you what I think about these premium ships. And then they get nerfed, and I can say I'm pissed because I like the ship the way it was. Or I can just not play the ships. I can show you the stats of the ships, tell you how I think it might play, let you be the judge, and whatever we wind up is what we wind up with. It's like, what helps the community more? Which one of those options benefits you, the player, more? Does it benefit the community more to rile you all up because the ship gets nerfed and I've played it one way and thought it was awesome and now it sucks? Or do we just treat it like no one's played it and the final version is the version we've always had? To me, that makes the most sense. To me, that causes the least amount of ire in the community. To me, that's the way to go forward. Does me no good to say, hey, this ship got nerfed. It's going to suck now. Or it sucks now. Because you all aren't going to know the difference either way. You're only getting one version of the ship. Yeah, you know what it might have been. But all I've done is riled you all up made you hate wargaming even more than some of you already do, which, let's face it, a fair amount of you do, and, you know, personally I think some of it is unjust. Some of it might be. But, honestly, it doesn't do any good for the community to give you these high ideas of how these ships should play, only for them to get nerfed. So, Florida is just one ship of many that's come out, been tested, seemed to be very good, gotten nerfed. Players are pissed off. People that tested it don't like the new version. Only for it to possibly make it to your hands, you get it, and you say, you know what, I like this ship a lot. I don't know what anyone's talking about. This ship's awesome, because that's the only version you've known. So it's going to play to your expectations right off the bat, and the ship is the version of the idea of what you make of it. And I don't think that made any sense right there. Once again, working off 2 hours of sleep. Basically, the ship that you get is all you know. So it's either going to be good or bad based upon how you play it right away. And Ben's starting to get a little restless right here, aren't you, buddy? You're furious about this too, aren't you? Are you mad that the Florida got nerfed, Benjamin? No, he doesn't even know what the hell Florida is. Or World of War ships. He just knows that he got squash in his mouth, some pureed squash a little while ago that he absolutely loved. Now he's just sitting around calm, wondering when the hell he's going to sleep again. Actually, no, that's me wondering when the hell he's going to sleep again, which I hope is sometime soon. So again, moving forward, I'm very happy with the decision I made not to test ships the way I used to, not to form opinions the way I used to, and wait till the very, very final version, especially on premium ships, to make a final verdict on the ship. Because it's unfair to the ship for me to say, hey, this ship's awesome. Then it gets nerfed and be like, oh, this ship sucks. Well, of course it's going to suck. I've been playing it at a version that was much better before. And of course the new version's not going to be as good. But you all aren't going to know the difference. Because the final version you get, you very well might enjoy. It might be another Pommern. You might love it either way and be like, why was everybody pissed off about this? This ship's pretty good. And in most cases, these nerfs, some of them don't even impact a lot. You know, 1 second of reload, that was the Pommern. I honestly don't know what was nerfed on the Florida, because not testing it, not being vested in it, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. All I know, hey, I know, that's funny, isn't it? It's funny, buddy. Yeah, I'm desperate right here, you know. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and that's why I've got a little infant on my knee while I'm recording this video. You don't have kids, you'll be there one day too. You'll try to squeeze things in any way you possibly can. But for me, no. I'm not going to do that to you all anymore. I'm not going to test a ship and then get all pissy when it's nerfed because I enjoyed one version of the ship. I don't think that's good for the community. I don't think it's good for you all. I don't think it's good to lower your expectations on a ship that you very well might enjoy. It's unfair to you. It's unfair to the game. It's unfair to wargaming. So I'm just not going to do it anymore. So USS Florida. Yeah, I heard there's a nerf, but you know what? When we get the final version, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And you're going to get that version, that exact version, and guess what? You're either going to like it or you're not. And chances are, since it's a premium ship, you're probably going to like it. I know at least a few of you will. Every ship is loved by someone. Even the Krasny Krim is probably someone's favorite. As much as I hate to say that. It's just the way it is. So, I can guarantee you that the USS Florida is probably going to find many, many fans. Just like the Pommern. And the Pommern, for some reason, was some strange surprise. I know, buddy, that's right. And he's telling me it's probably time to wrap this up right now, because he's getting restless. I need some rest. And that's about it for me. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you all are doing wonderful. Again, don't take too much stock in these early previews of these ships that are coming out, especially when they're going to get nerfed. It's meaningless. It doesn't matter. So, take it easy. Hope you all are doing wonderful. Zoop out.